Jessica from Under the Covers. Welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to be sharing with you our favorite books that we've already read, and we highly suggest that you put them on your TBRs for the summer this year. Now, we're not going through all our recommendations in this video, so we will leave a link in the information box down below to our full post on the blog where we talk about every single book that we recommend that you put on your list for this summer. These are also generally newer releases, so if you want to see our recommendations for years past, you can find our list of books recommended every summer from 2011, I think, or 2012, all the way to now, and those are all going to be linked in the blog post that we're going to leave in the information box down below. So while everybody has different tastes in what they're looking for in a good summer read, I generally like to read thrillers, women's fiction with lots of family drama, and small town cute contemporary romances. And I also like books that are a big emotional roller coaster and kind of tearjerkers. So to start off my list, I have All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This is out in the middle of July, and it's one of those emotional tearjerker kind of books. It actually deals with a marriage that is struggling on the verge of divorce, and we also get to know this couple from when they first met and how they fell in love. So it's told in a then and now kind of fashion. As with a lot of Colleen Hoover's books, I think this book was so emotional. It really drew out a lot of emotions from me, and I really think that Colleen Hoover is a wonderful storyteller for making people feel like they can really relate to a character, even if they've never felt the things that she's felt, or even if they've never been through the situations the characters have been through. The way she narrates the stories, it really makes you put yourself in that character's shoes and analyze their decisions and analyze their situation, and it makes you think how you would react in those instances, and I think that's my favorite thing about her books. While this wasn't as bad of a tearjerker as It Ends With Us, it's still a very emotional book. It's gripping, it's addictive. I didn't want to put it down. It's not an easy book to read because there's a lot of heavy sad issues that are going on, but I think the balance that Colleen put into this story with the then and now was perfect, because whenever the current situation was getting a little too heavy and a little too depressing, you go back in time to a happier time. And I think that was a nice balance to keep the story flowing nicely. I'm a big fan of seeing books where they talk about a struggling marriage, and I think this one is done really well. It was really addictive. I didn't want to put it down, and it's the perfect read for this summer if you want something that's deep and emotional. The next one is one of those women's fiction family saga dramas, and it's How to Keep a Secret by Sarah Morgan. This is a story about 3 generations of women who have been keeping all sorts of secrets from each other. So there's the grandmother, the 2 daughters, and then the 1 granddaughter. One of the daughters had moved away to England with her husband, and they raised their child there, and she's now a teenager, and her husband dies, and she has to move back with her mother and back to that small town that she's been avoiding for many years because of all the memories that it holds. Lots of secrets to uncover. I thought this book was a lot of fun. It was a little slow to get going, but once it did, I was hooked. I didn't want to put it down, and I think this is probably my favorite Sarah Morgan book to date. Now, I have only read her contemporary romances before, but this was really, really good, and I really think that I'll be on the lookout for all her women's fiction novels more. And if you're worried about the fact that this isn't necessarily a romance, rest assured there is a romance thread in here, and there is a happy ending. So I couldn't talk about summer reads this year without talking about a book that came out at the beginning of the year, and I've already talked about it here on the channel, but I really loved it. I think it's a perfect summer beach read, and that is Next Year in Havana by Chanel Clayton. I think this book is a mix of historical fiction and women's fiction because of the different timelines that this story is telling. So we have the grandmother's story, which is set in revolutionary Cuba, and the granddaughter, who is now going back to Cuba for the first time after her mother passes away to rediscover a lot of the things that her grandmother has only been able to share with her through her stories and through her memories. Now, there's a romance in the cards for both of these women. I think in both timelines there's a lot of different things that you can learn from a very different perspective than history books, of what it meant to have to leave the situation going on in Cuba. What was it like? What was the revolution like? What were their dreams and aspirations? It was fun to see history from a different perspective, and I think Miss Clayton really captured it very well. It really made you feel like you were there and you were feeling all those emotions along with the characters. But then it was also really nice to see it in today's Cuba from the granddaughter's point of view. She's Cuban American, she's never lived there, and she meets this local who's actually the grandson of her grandmother's best friend. And you're rediscovering the nation, how it is now, through the eyes of somebody that's local, and also through her eyes, in which everything is new and exciting and beautiful. And I think the magic of this book is really being transported to a different place and in different times. And it was just, the narration was just stunning. The emotions in this book are amazing. The storyline is really, really good. And this one will make you tear up and cry. But I guarantee you it will be worth it. And now after that sad one, I'm closing out my recommendations with a fun one. And I've already talked about this book on the channel recently, but it is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hong. I think this is the perfect summer, cute, contemporary romance. It's sexy as well. It has a very diverse cast of characters, and we get to learn about another different culture. This was just cute, sexy, funny. I think the setup for this story is also very unique. The heroine in the story is autistic, and she hires a male escort to help her deal with her insecurities and her issues with touching and sex, and even interactions with other people. The heroine was really likable in this one. The hero was adorable. His family also stands out. It was a great, fun story, and I hope you check it out.
Hi guys, this is Suzanne from Under the Covers. We're mainly going to be sticking with contemporary romance, but I'm going to confess I may have snuck a book or two that is perhaps not contemporary romance, but don't tell anyone I said so. And I'm going to start off by abiding by the rules and going contemporary romance. So what I like about a summer book is that it's kind of light and funny and will make me laugh, and it's nothing too intense, you know, these kind of beach reads. And so something that I've read recently which I've really enjoyed, it's made me laugh, and that I think would be perfect kind of summer reading, some standalones by Annika Martin. So the most recent released is called My Wake Up Cool Girl. So no, The Billionaire's Wake Up Cool Girl. And then the other book that I've read by her, which is also standalone, is called The Most Eligible Bastard. I think it's been retitled Most Eligible Billionaire from when I was looking recently, so they're both standalones, obviously both involve billionaires, and they're just really great. They're kind of a little bit quirky, which I love about books. I love to have a bit of kooky quirkiness in there somewhere to make it stand out from the crowd. They're both really funny, both intelligently written, some really great heroines in there which also stand out, and they're just really great to kind of chill out with, have a laugh with, and they're books that you won't soon forget. So I definitely recommend kind of anything by Annika Martin, who is also known as Caroline Crane. But yeah, they're kind of really good beach reads. So now I'm going for my second recommendation. I am veering off the contemporary romance track, and instead I am going for some historical romance. So what I've chosen is by Julia Quinn, and it's her Bridgerton series. It's a complete series, so you can read it from the first to last book without having to stop for a new release. And I chose this because it's kind of a really light-hearted comedy, easy to read. So even if you're not a big reader of historical romances, Julia Quinn does a fantastic job of just easing you in to kind of that genre. It's one of this kind of series where they're really light on historical detail, and although I haven't really looked into it, probably historical accuracy as well. However, they're just really funny books. It's a great one if you like romances centered around a family, so you get the kind of family dynamics grow as you go on and you get to know everyone. So I really love that about the Bridgerton series, and it's just a great, really funny, light-hearted read for you to enjoy on the beach. Okay, so I'm going to move now on to my third recommendation and my last recommendation, and this kind of all the books by Claudia Connor, but the series that I'm focusing on is the McKinney brothers. So this actually, the meeting between the hero and heroine happens on the beach whilst they're on holiday, which is what made me think of her books. Also her most recent releases, Love at Last and Where I Belong, are also kind of holiday romances, so that made me like ping for this video, like they were some great recommendations. So Claudia Connor kind of specialises in really sweet family-bound romances. The heroes are always like really nice, really good guys. Quite often the heroines will be single mothers with one or more children. In fact, in Worth the Fool, which is the first book in the McKinney brothers, I believe she might have 3 or 4 children, and she's pregnant with her next. They're all just such lovely, sweet stories. There's a little bit of heat in there as well, but mainly when I think of a Claudia Connor book, I think about how adorable they are. And as quite a lot of them kind of seem to be holiday romances, I thought they would be a fantastic summer read for you. So those are my recommendations for you. Let me know if you've read any of them or not, or if you have any recommendations for me, and we'll move on to the next person.
Hi guys, it's Annie. I'm really excited about this because summer is my all-time favorite season. It's the time where my favorite books come out as well. So I'm really excited about this list, and I hope you find something that you can enjoy. The first book that I want to mention comes from Jill Chavez, and this is one of the books in her new Wilder series. I especially love her contemporary romances because they are always light and funny and very, very charming, and I feel like that definitely fits the summer vibe. So the book that I want to talk about is actually one of her women's fictions book. It's called Rainy Day Friends. Now, despite the title of the book, it's actually quite a fun and uplifting story. So this is one of the books in the Wilder series. As I mentioned, this is a women's fiction series. However, I do think that it could definitely go by a contemporary romance, a straight contemporary romance. I have been really enjoying reading this series. There's only a couple of books out so far, but this is one of my favorites in the series. This would make for a really great beach read, and I would highly suggest taking this one with you on vacation. The other book that I want to talk about is probably one of my favorite books that came out this year so far, and it's by Marie Hart. This book is called The Only Thing. So this book is the third book in the Donegan series. This is a series that is a spin-off of the Macaulay brothers. As you know, I absolutely love that series. So I was very excited about this book as well. JT was a reoccurring character throughout the series, so I was so happy to finally get his book and see who he was paired with. This one definitely has quite a lot of sexiness in it, has quite a lot of humor, which is trademark to the series. But perhaps my favorite thing about this series is the family aspect of it. I just love series that feature a family, and this one with the Donegans has been truly amazing. I really, really love it. It's just as good as the original series, if not better. So if you haven't read this series by Marie Hart, I would highly suggest it. It's the perfect pick-me-up for the summertime, and I definitely think it's a book that will make you fall in love and laugh out loud at the same time. I hope that if you try these books out, you enjoy them. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
So there you have it, guys. That's our recommendations for summer reading for 2018. As I said before, I'll leave a link in the information box down below where you can find our full post with a few more recommendations for summer reads for this year. And from there, you can also check out the post that we've done with recommendations in years prior. If you haven't read these books, be sure to put them on your list. Don't forget to stay tuned for our wrap-up videos where we will be talking about the books that we are very excited to read this summer. So we will be catching you guys up in our wrap-up videos, and maybe if there's time we will do a top reads of the summer video as well. For now, we hope that you enjoy all the books that we recommended to you today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos, and visit us on the blog at underthecoversbookblog.com and all our social media channels. All the links will be in the information box down below. Enjoy your summer, guys, and happy reading. Bye!